I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Zoey's Extraordinary Playlist After Show here at AfterBuzz TV, and I am your host in Zoey's Extraordinary Playlist super fan, Brandon Hanna, and I have an amazing panel joining me as always. Let's start off first. She is a musical theater enthusiast. You know her, you love her. It's Emily May.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be together again.
Yes, so happy. We got the whole gang together today, and we got a very special guest that we'll get to in just 1 second. But before we do, we also have the amazing voice actor extraordinaire. It's Kittie Kaboom.
What's up? I'm so happy to see everybody, and we got John in the house, y'all.
Yes, I know we're all super excited to have John here, but before we get to him, we have one more member of this amazing panel. You know him for his incredible TikTok videos. It's Amir Yassai.
Get it,
Hi,
get it.
Yeah.
And
Y'all have better
finally,
talent than I do. Oh, that's awesome.
and finally, last but certainly not least, is our very, very special guest for this show tonight. You know him as Simon. It's the amazing John Clarence Stewart.
What's good?
And the crowd goes, wow. Yes, with the rescue
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
Yeah, no, thank you for coming on. As you can see, we are super excited to have you here. Kittie is particularly excited.
Wow.
We do have an amazing
People are
show
loving
for
it
all
in the
you.
chat. People are loving it in the chat. So keep it up.
Amir,
Kittie.
keep
Yes.
up the chat.
No, this is going to be a very high energy show for sure. We got to talk about Jessica and Simon. They broke up. It's official. Cannot wait to dive into that with John here. Max,
scared.
he officially moves to the 6th floor. And there's a lot to talk about there.
The
Maybe
shade,
even,
the shade.
Amir guessing correctly a certain song that plays in a particular sequence.
Yes.
You guessed it. Ooh.
He guessed it. And let's talk about that Maggie and Mitch duet at the end, because that was something to see. And of course, as always, we are bringing back our special segment. It's our own internal musical monologues. And we're going to talk about songs that maybe you would have with someone you love that you're not particularly getting along with. So that's going to be a lot of fun to get into. But before we do that, let's just get into our overall thoughts on tonight's episode. Emily, let's start with you. What did you think?
Oh my God, this I think was I have so many favorite episodes. I feel like this is like up there. It was so emotional. I feel like this was a breaking point for Zoey, for Simon. All the characters had a moment where they finally broke through their like emotional barriers. They're sharing their feelings through song. They're finally getting past moments where they might have a wall of feelings. And I loved the dance numbers. The songs were perfect. And that last moment with Maggie and Mitch broke my heart. It took me about 20 minutes to get off the couch after I was bawling.
Yeah,
So
I think we're all with you there. Kittie Kaboom, what about you?
Okay, so first of all, I had no idea that Mandy could choreograph a dance in a kitchen using absolutely no props except the kitchen. She killed that. And sir, you did that. Okay, let's be very clear. And I don't think I've ever heard Zoey raise her voice. I was like, oh my God.
I know.
She mad. That ain't mad. Like she mad. I was not ready for that. So I genuinely enjoyed seeing her go to higher octaves. Obviously, she was misguided and she's mad at the wrong people about the wrong stuff. But, you know, that's always Zoey. It's multi-layered and it makes all the sense at the end. I really just enjoyed seeing her go off. You know, that was like, okay, sis. Wasn't ready for that.
Oh man, that kitchen scene, I want to do like I'm gonna learn how to do that in my kitchen. I'm gonna clear everything out.
I'll send you the choreo.
Yes. I'll do a video.
You hit that back bend on the thing.
With no props. No props.
No,
Just
all hands free.
Damn.
Oh my God.
Murdered, bro.
Amazing.
It was
Amazing.
well done. With the water still boiling, John. That was wow.
I was like,
keeping
what
the
water?
pasta on time.
Brilliant. brilliant.
Right.
What about you, Amir? Do you have any thoughts that stand out in particular about this episode overall?
Yes, I do. I agree with Em and I agree with Kittie. There's so many good scenes, but my favorite was definitely finally understanding what that control painting in Zoe's apartment finally means. It's off center, which means her life's out of control.
Her life is, yeah.
So finally clicked. I understood the
You didn't get that?
meta. I got the meta layer.
You caught
So
it.
I was like, okay, I get this show. I am here. And then I loved
Here for it.
and I also loved the impromptu dance party that Mo organized. Such a good song to let it out. I did that the other day with Robin, Call Your Girlfriend. Danced all over my room and I cried. So it was great. So I highly
Cathartic.
I love it. It's so
Very
cathartic. It's so important
Yes.
to dance. I definitely do that around my apartment. It helps.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You can say hell. You can
PG
say
Marco.
hell.
You can
Marco.
say that. That's okay.
Yeah, Marco.
Shoot.
Brand,
All right.
Kittie, are you okay? Are you having a break?
No, I was just, aren't you the funny one? I was mimicking Emily because he wasn't sure who to say. I mean, not Emily. I'm sorry, John. I'm all over the place. Just ask next question, boo. I'm here.
Okay, Brandon, I have a quick question. So I'm going to quickly do some live chat comments. So everyone's loving the energy, especially Kittie. So Winsome Hitchcock said, oh my God, loving Kittie's energy. Janine Bryce said, loving the energy. And then everyone is saying that they are loving Maggie and Mitch. Damn. Ivan Soto is saying, can you guys please address the unhealthy nature of the relationship between Simon and Zoey? So we'll get to all that, but I just wanted to give some shout outs.
Yes.
Yeah, before we get into our topics for the day, John, I want to know, do you have any overall thoughts on this episode? Not just as someone watching it, but also as someone who actually played a major role in tonight's episode.
I think today's episode was a swing for the fences. Like there were a lot of things that had to be executed very well. Like Max had to take a step forward. Zoey took a step forward. There was actual tension in her relationships. And we didn't get to see her, like Kittie said, explode in the way that she has in this episode, but it's all earned, you know? Everyone takes a step forward, but it's all earned. And I think that the beautiful thing about this episode for me is that it shows how messy things can get. It shows how no one is perfect. It shows how people that we love can sometimes hurt us. And it's coming from a place, it comes from this volatile place when they don't have the vocabulary, they don't have the tools to navigate it. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about the episode. And lastly, that scene between Mitch and Maggie, I knew it was coming and I was wrecked, you know.
Aww.
And that, I think their relationship is something so unique and so special. I think it's pretty, this is pretty wonderful. Yeah, those are my thoughts about the episode.
Well,
Those are really good thoughts.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, I agree 100%, John. I really liked what you said about everyone moving forward in a very necessary and healthy way. We see Zoey and Simon really just let it out and really explode, which is something that surprised me, especially to see that come from Zoey. But there was sort of a catalyst that sort of sets everything off, and that's Jessica and Simon. They're broke up. They're broken up for good, it seems. Emily, I want to know what are your thoughts on this? How did you feel? Did you foresee Simon and Zoey maybe trying to make things work as quickly as we did?
So I was, we had that amazing dance number at the end of the previous episode with Jessica and Simon, so we kind of knew something was most likely ending, and then this episode confirmed it. And it made me, I was so surprised that they started up so quickly that I feel like that they should have just kept it in the friend zone a little bit more, a little bit longer, even though it was really like intense this episode. And I just feel like it's so soon. Like you need to like Simon needs to heal. Like it's not going to be 4 days. Like you were with this person for a long time. You were going to be their life partner, and now you're not anymore. And so you need time to heal before you can move on with anyone else. So I was kind of a little surprised it happened so fast.
Yeah. What about you, Kittie?
Well, you know, the funny thing is me and Amir, we watched together, and when we were watching that particular scene, I made mention of that.
Separately on FaceTime. John made a face. Separately on FaceTime.
I was like,
social distancing.
Quarantine, we're just
No,
like,
no.
Separate on the phone. On the phone.
What are we doing?
I saw your face, John. I saw your face.
Not just John,
like,
but to the public watching, we watched together at some janky, I watch over his shoulder, FaceTime, because he has a feed. I do not. Girlfriend don't have that coin. I don't know what it takes to get it, but I ain't got it, so that's how we watch.
Direct TV, baby. I got no
so let's
coin
be
either.
Clear. Amir got a coin, so he gets the show. Kittie watches on FaceTime through the phone.
All right.
The point is, I had synced it, and Amir watching it together, proverbially, you know what I mean? And I remember that scene happening and me making that statement like, well, damn, you know, because he had been advised to, you know, play it by ear or do this or maybe do that or maybe say it this way. You know how we rehearse, girls. We do this. I don't know if guys do it.
We do.
But we kind of have to get it in our head. He's going to say this and then I'm going to be like,
yeah.
And then I'm going to be like, and then, you know, that's what we do.
We talked it with our girlfriends, like Zoey did with Mo, and Mo was like, oh, hey, you have to, don't do that face. Don't.
Right. That's why it was a beautiful thing, because when he responded that way, she totally threw it out there like, yeah, I understand you're going to need some time. How about tonight? Okay. Like, I didn't expect Zoey to say anything but okay. She's a roller. You know what I mean? Like, if they throw it out there, she kind of just goes with the flow.
She's a yes girl. She's a yes girl.
They tell her their inner thoughts. So she has this inkling as to what's going on with them anyway. And then when they just kind of confirm it through their words that are actually spoken to her, it's like, she's just like, okay, I'll ride with it. It's whatever. Because I already know what you're thinking anyway. I already know how this is going to go down. So I'm going to play the game and we'll see how this all plays out. But I did think it was kind of weird that she moved that quickly. In human real life, I don't know that it would happen that way, but maybe so. I just wanted them to get it on. Tell them, Amir. Didn't I just do it? Who they going to do it?
Everyone's inner monologue, right?
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping for. To move that quickly, I'm like, you might as well get some.
What are you thinking, Amir? Set the record straight here.
I really don't know what to say. I was just operating the FaceTime for Kittie. Kittie kept saying, are they going to get it on? And I really unfortunately had a feeling it wasn't going to go well, just by his like energy and, you know, being in this like furnished apartment wearing all black. And then he was up on all the furniture and I'm like, you're not going to get your security deposit back. Fine.
Well, Andy brought up all the divorced couple or the divorced.
That's what I'm saying.
And dads, single dads or something. And it was a bad vibe kind of going in.
Not a mood.
It was a bad vibe. It was not a mood. It was not a mood to get down. Yeah.
No.
A girl can dream.
She
very true.
We can all dream.
That is very true. Very true. We have a quick question for John from the live chat. So Rachel Silvestrini wants to know, I wonder how in love Simon actually was with Jess. Depending on when they got engaged in regards to his dad's passing, it could have been more of a coping mechanism than true love. So do you think that, like, do we have a timeline as far as their relationship goes? Like, was it before the dad passed?
I think Simon proposed to Jessica after his dad passed. And I think the relationship was growing gradually as it needed to, but there was something that happened after his dad passed that made him want to have some kind of family, something solid of his own. And so that was the impetus. But then as things got closer and things started getting more real, he started feeling like, is this right? Is this right? Then he started going through the grieving process, denial. And you start going through the process of feeling it. And then through Zoey, he's going through more emotional spaces and coming to terms with the fact that it's not right. It's just not right. And now I think the tricky thing is when someone in a relationship and it ends, it's like, this isn't right. So is the person that's giving me this awakening, is it because of them? Or is it something that I need to do? Like where is this coming from? There's still a fog. And I think that Simon now is in this space where, like in this episode, is in this space where it's like, okay, this relationship is ended. I still don't want to deal with the things that I have to deal with. Like, I'm not ready to deal with it. Or this relationship is ended. It was the relationship. That was the thing. And now that's over. But that's such a surface level thing. There's this other thing under the surface that hasn't been dealt with yet, you know? And inviting Zoey over to the house is, I think inviting Zoey over to the house, when he says to Zoey, I think we need to have a conversation and talk about this. I think that's true. I think they do need to talk. I think there's been a lot of things that have been going on, a lot of things that haven't been said that need to be said. But I also think that he's running away. And inviting Zoey over to his home is also because he doesn't want to be alone in his home. He's just getting into a new home and he doesn't want to be alone by himself. And he needs to be, he needs that, but he doesn't want it yet. And Zoey, because of her gift, is able to see everything that's going on before he even knows, and drops into the fact that that he's not ready for that. He's not.
Exactly.
He's always like 5 steps ahead of someone else's emotional intelligence.
Sure. It almost seems like he's kind of like, I've been there, I've done that, I know how to grieve and I know how to get past things. But maybe he's not as developed as he thinks. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he thinks that, oh my gosh, I have, like, here's the thing. For me, like, I've lost my father, right? Like, years ago. And so thank you. But the thing is, like, there is this denial. And there's this refusal to accept a new norm. And the idea that, like, I will cling to anything and everything that is close to me, that feels like intimacy, that feels real, so that I don't have to grieve in the way that I'm going to have to.
Because it makes it more tangible.
It makes it more tangible.
Yeah.
And Jessica was incredible. Like, you could not have found a better partner. Like, Jessica was incredible. She did everything that she could. But Simon needs to grieve and needs to process.
Right.
Like, there's no way around it. It has to happen.
Yeah, so it's much Zoey, but that's what I'm not going to say that's what we do as girls. I will say that we do as humans oftentimes misassociate what is being projected because we don't know how to interpret it. You know, she's making it all about her and how confused he is. And this, you singing that same old song and you still don't know what you want. And this is not about you, Zoey. This is bigger than you. And how dare you minimize his feelings simply because you're going through your own stuff with your dad and maybe you aren't able to relate to him on that level. And it looks like he's just stringing you along. Like, there's so many factors at play here. And she's usually way better at discerning them. But I get it. You know what I mean? She's like having this whole struggle with her dad. So she really doesn't know how to identify those feelings. But I can totally see how he would be that, I want to say torn, I guess, to some degree, not really knowing what to hold on to, but just knowing that being by himself is not the answer for him.
Absolutely. And there's another thing I want to add to that, Kittie, is that I don't think Zoey does anything wrong. I think that Simon is not communicating.
Yeah.
Simon doesn't have the emotional intelligence to understand what's going on. And because he doesn't have that, he doesn't know how to communicate to Zoey what's actually happening. And so, like, Zoey's trying to fill in the gaps, and Simon's always like 5 steps behind because he hasn't even done the process of being still enough to understand what's happening. Like, he's still relying on Zoey to tell him what's going on inside of himself.
I totally see that. It's like he's reaching for her because he keeps showing up. It's not like he has this inner turmoil and he doesn't go to work, or like he's slumped in his office with the door closed and he doesn't eat. It's more like, I'm a man, I'm here, I'm present, I know what I'm doing, I got this. And then when it all falls apart, you know, it's because he really doesn't got this, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the impression I get.
Yeah, that's something I really appreciated about Simon in this episode. Like you said, John, even though he has all these feelings, he doesn't necessarily know how to communicate. He always seems to be 5 steps behind of what Zoey already knows. But at the same time, he is trying to communicate with her. You know, when she, you know, comes to him after, you know, having that moment with her father and the father taking the sedative and it really upset her, Simon was just there to want to talk to her, to communicate with her, to talk about the issues at hand. And as someone who's been Team Max for this entire season, that was something that really kind of won me over a bit. So now I'm personally, and it's not just because you're here, John, I'm personally more on the fence now. I'm leaning towards.
Hold up. Y'all gotta tell me, is this real? Is this real? Y'all
Yes, he's Team Max.
Real.
And he really,
100%
it sounds
Team
genuine. Max. It sounds genuine.
No. I hear you a hard time. I'll give you a hard time. It's all good.
Yes, because we have chosen teams around here, just so we're clear.
Yeah, 100%. But no, that's something I really did appreciate about the character, and he's starting to win me over. We'll see how things go with these next couple episodes, and I do want to get into everything going on with Max, but before we do that, I just want to thank everybody watching at home for making us the ESPN of TV talk. We would not be able to do this incredible show without you. We wouldn't be able to have amazing guests like John on this show and Kapil and just be able to talk about television shows that we love. So please make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, all the AfterBuzz TV channels on YouTube. If you're in the live chat right now, tell us what you think. Leave a question for John. Comment down below. And if you're watching, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please make sure to give us a positive rating there because it really, really helps out the show. And to get back to the show, like I said, I'm Team Max, but it seems that Max and Zoey are kind of going their separate ways, of Max going up to the 6th floor. And Amir, I want to go right to you because you guessed it. You guessed it. The boy is mine. You picked that song. You knew it was coming.
He knew because he always knows. Every week he predicts right. He's freaking amazing.
Who are you? Prophet? What is it? You see her?
It's really not that. I think it's being a publicist for the last 10 years. I think that job, I don't know. And I watch so much TV. I watch an obnoxious amount of TV. So I was just able to predict that. And I just felt like Brandy is like making a comeback. What am I saying? I was like, wait a second. Wait, Brandy's coming back. You know what I meant. And so I feel like she's coming back. And so I think that bringing her on and giving that fresh take for that old song is fabulous. Before I give you my opinions about that, I just quickly want to read some comments from our last episode. So people said this episode was one of my favorites because I'm a sign language student. It's been a long time since sign language was seen in a TV show. Switched Out Birth was the first. So I thought that was really fabulous. And that's from Tia Diaz. So that's really, really amazing. And then the second one, real quick, is Starring Them. Is yes, that's how I feel about Max. He is pushing it. Just let the girl come to you. If she loses him, maybe she'll realize she does not want him. So I'm still Team Simon right now. I wanted to read that for you because you are Simon. And just to make it very clear, John, I've been Team Simon from episode 1, and they have not all been. So let me just throw my co-host under.
Amir, I knew you were gonna give me the tea, boo. I knew you were gonna give me the tea. That's all I want. I just want a full cup. That's it.
There you go. So I'm gonna keep 1,000 with you. I've been Team Max. Okay, let's call it 1,000.
I hear you.
Looking like a home wrecker.
I hear you.
Bruh, I'm not for that. You feel me? They have a union about to happen. Sit down, little girl. Sit down. My business. That wasn't for her.
Sit down.
Exactly. Wait, I'm so sorry to interject. I know we have a protocol. I know we have a way to do things, but can I please ask one question? Total wild card. How do you feel, or did you know? Better question. Did you know? Damn it, I can't remember his name. The thin one that's in love with the boss.
Leif.
I'm so sorry. Leif. Did you know that Leif had blue-eyed soul like that, bro?
Yes. Okay, here's the thing.
He had so much soul.
Here's the thing.
That thing can sing.
Look, let me tell you a story. We all went to do karaoke one night.
Yeah.
When we first got cast and everything, we went to go karaoke.
Yes.
And we did the table read and whatever and all those things. And Michael Thomas Grant is his name, but
thank you.
This motherfucker.
Okay.
he turned queen.
He killed it.
The queen comes on. He's just sitting there, just like, and I'm just. It blew me away. After that point, I was like, "Look, man, I just can't wait to see you wail on this thing, bro. I can't wait to see you."
What's your go-to karaoke song? Do you have your karaoke song that you like your go-to?
Yes, I do. "When Doves Cry" by Prince. That's mine.
Okay. That's pretty suspicious.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's karaoke.
Yeah, you have to go for it.
Where are the stakes? It's karaoke.
Nice, very nice choice. I like that.
What about y'all? What are your go-to karaoke songs? Go.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Well, mine is Tony Braxton, "Unbreak My Heart."
You love that song.
Whitney Houston, "Children Are the Future."
For me, I always go Backstreet Boys. Everybody is my jam. 100%. I'm trying.
So
that's the end thing, baby.
Oh, sorry.
I like to do like any Kelly Clarkson song. I'm like any Kelly Clarkson song. I'm like jamming to.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Kelly Clarkson is
What about like the really emotional ones, like Piece by Piece?
Oh, Piece by Piece is like, I love the acoustic version of that. I would do that like every day. Breakaway.
Every day.
Yeah.
I do it every day. I've been quarantined.
It's my soul song.
Heard that. Yeah.
That's what's up, Emily. Work it out.
Oh, sorry,
Yes,
guys.
sir.
Yeah. So Amir.
Yeah, I don't even know what's happening. I was like, la la la. I was like, do I have something to do?
What are we on? What song? What area are we on the show?
You're
I
out.
want to hear Amir's thoughts on The Boy Is Mine.
Oh, great. Okay, I will give you my thoughts. Yes. So I thought that is the other boss's name Ava?
Yes.
Ava. Yeah.
Ava, killed it. Like the way that, and then the scene when they leaned back and then Max was between them. I was like, both of them are doing Pilates. They're doing something right. So it was a great scene. I thought it was fabulous, and I really didn't see because I think that Skylar is like such a genuine funny person that to see him like switcheroo and kind of be like the villain is something that I like, because he's just such a nice person. It's annoying. So I think that like it's nice to see him play like that villain. So I'm really appreciating that, and I was like, damn, he like has that in him. That was dope. I was here for it.
Hell yeah.
Nice range, right?
Awesome. Yeah.
Yes. I gotta say, Amir, like the thing about Max, in my opinion, is like it's so justified, you know? Like he, like in what was it, episode 8, you know, I don't know how anybody would get over someone singing that they love you, then like walking in on something like that. And we're still gonna, okay, and you're still not gonna fight for me. Okay, that's that. Okay, I don't know.
And we're still friends. I'm allowing you to stay with the title of my friend.
Yeah,
and known each other like since they're sandbox friends, right?
Yeah, they go back.
Yeah,
they go back. Yeah,
fun.
They go way
back. I hate to disagree with our guest because I think John's fabulous. But I'm just gonna have to say one quick thing about Max is that I don't think that he didn't go to her apartment. He didn't do something overtly romantic. He just kept singing about being he's like obsessed with her. And I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like puppy love, where I feel like Simon's like in love with her darkness as well. And I'm like, you can't just be in love with someone's all the good stuff, you know?
No,
but this was the first time she's ever even shown that darkness though, right?
Yeah, I disagree, Amir. Yeah.
Why do you disagree? Put it out there. Put it on the table.
Yeah, because I love this. I feel like Max has a deep. I feel like yes, he's known Zoey for a really long time. He has a deeper level of love for her, and it's just shown in a different way. And I think John, you're right. Where like he was totally rejected the last few episodes, this whole season, pretty much, and so he's mad. It's okay for him to be angry. Yeah, kind of. He's mad, right? But where was I going?
What I heard is that you agree with me. Got it.
Do I agree with you?
That's what she said, Amir. That she agreed.
Okay.
Get back on track.
Okay. I'm gonna say this real quick.
Okay, let's hear it, John.
Okay, so like with Max, right? I think that that the beautiful thing about the writing in the show, and I think this goes to Austin, is that the way that Max is growing, and he's changing. Like, yes, there may have been this idea of like this idealized image of the person that you love, but then over the time of the season, like even in this episode, you said Max is a villain, Amir. I feel like I don't know that there's a villain. I feel like he's learning what it feels like to stand with his whole spine, you know? And the thing that hurts, and the thing that hurts between like Max and Zoey, is that their relationship has been so attached for so long. They've been through so many things together, but he's learning to stand and look out for himself and what he wants. which also means learning to accept that you have a want, and like
absolutely,
and not saying, you know, and not asking, okay, what do you want, Zoey?
Right.
No, what do I want? And I'm gonna go do this for myself. And it feels like when that happens, sometimes it can feel like you're the bad guy. It can feel like you're the bad guy when you set it down, you know. But in the same token, you know, so
I don't think that she's rejecting him so much.
I'm just a person in the world.
It isn't so much that he is rejecting her as much as he's just celebrating himself for a change, right?
Well,
because he always.
I agree with that.
Yeah, he's
like,
finally,
yeah, he's low key like not a troll. That's bad, but like a baby stalker, maybe. Like he really is obsessed with her.
No, he's not. I don't think
that's with her.
No, I don't think. No. Here's the thing. I don't think Max is obsessed with Zoey. I think Max has love for Zoey, like legitimate love. I don't think there's a world in which I don't think that in the triangle. I think that there is love in the triangle. I think it's
okay.
I think the idea is, what is the timing? Are people healthy? And are people mature enough to accept and give and receive and communicate? And those things are all over the place right now.
Yeah.
Nobody is where they want to be, but everybody is feeling this thing that's real.
That's beautiful. I mean, I feel like Max took this huge, it is beautiful, because I feel like Max took this emotional step of like career-wise. John, you're laughing at me. This career-wise, taking this step of like doing something for him with no one else involved. And I think it was important for him to do that. And no matter the sacrifice, no matter if it put a wedge between him and Zoey, he needed to do that in order for himself to heal from what happened earlier. So I think it was pretty hard for him to do that, but I think it was an important step in whatever step of like admiration and love he has for Zoey. He needed to do this.
I heard that.
Yeah. I think I agree with everybody for the most part, except maybe not Amir a little bit. But I mean, come on,
Brandon, what is going on? Why would you call him?
Okay.
He's saying there's no real love. There's no real love between Max and Zoey. He threatened someone and took a scooter for her. Okay,
he's saying the best.
Real.
Yeah, he's saying the best version of 500 miles ever.
It is. He did. That's my favorite version.
I mean, it is a great version. Did you see his remake?
Oh, it's fabulous.
With I Want to Dance with Somebody. Did you see it?
No.
No.
Okay. Everybody, look. Here's the thing. Skylar, on his own time, recorded a version of 500 Miles, but he mashed it up with I Want to Dance with Somebody.
What?
It is incredible.
Is it on his IG?
It's on his IG.
It's on IG, yeah.
It's on IG.
He's been doing his sessions, yeah.
Like it's stupid.
That's awesome.
Right, we gotta check that out. We have to check that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check that out.
Amazing.
Brandon, real quick. Oh yeah, check the hair, John. Yes. We have our chats are becoming like my beard. They're overgrown, and we need to get to them. So let me quickly get to the chats. Okay, so there's a really great one for John. Ivan Soto's asking, how does it feel playing an unlikable character? He that's his opinion. But like a polarizing, maybe is a better word, polarizing.
He can be unlikable. To that question, I think what I concern myself with is not whether or not the character is likable. I concern myself with telling the truth of where they're coming from and being honest. So like, regardless of what Simon does, there's a reason that he does it. And I think the beautiful thing in the writing and what I try to do is to justify everything that he does. So it's rooted in something honest. And then if you like it or not, that's you. And Ivan, if you think he's unlikable, that's cool. But like, I think that my work is to make sure that it's justified. And I think that when I see Simon and the choices he makes, I see mistakes sometimes, and that there were moments when I was reading where I was like, man, dang it. Man, but like, would I do that? It's like, brother,
right.
Yeah, it's not you. Yeah.
It's not, but as long as it's believable, and it always is, then you've done your job very effectively, brother.
Yeah.
You gotta tell the truth.
And I have to say, like Simon and Max and so, like, all the characters have such authentic moments in this show, and especially especially the moment tonight with Simon and Zoey, like that fight was just like on another level. And it was so emotional. So that writing is just so real. And you guys bring it to life. You guys bring it to life.
Always.
So good. It's like it's like being
good.
human. It's like being broken, and that's very relatable. And someone else is also saying Simon doesn't do anything with bad intentions. People just happen to get hurt. So a lot of times when you're in the grieving process and people were talking about how like they really resonate with the fact that John, you also lost your dad and you brought that to the role. And there's like a level of like a layeredness to it. Sometimes like, that's why I always say like LGBTQ people or, you know, people of color should always play the roles that they are. And it's like similar to that, you're bringing your experience into the role. And you can tell it's very full and very robust and really well done. And people are also saying that you really kind of go there with the character. So I just wanted to kind of give everyone a little shout out. So everyone's standing you, John. So
that's and John, in that same respect, we talk about this quite a bit every week. We sing the praises of the show because we genuinely love it. Believe me, if we didn't, that's our job to be like, well, not so much. But we do genuinely love it. The dancing, obviously, the choreography, all of the casting has been superb. But we always talk about the fact that these writers, my guy, they are so on point in terms of like making it PC without making it PC. You know, that one scene where Zoey was in the across the hall with her bestie / neighbor. Mo. What is wrong with me and names? I'm so sorry. Mo. I'm the worst with them. I gotta get better.
We are a family like a giant tree growing up to the sky.
Yeah, we're good.
And they're dancing together, right? And then they say they're doing like the little workout video. I don't remember the words verbatim, but I just remember Zoey saying some offhanded comment about whatever she was going through. And Mo responds, oh, that's called white privilege. Now back to working out. Like it didn't stop the mood. It wasn't like some grasp your pearls. It wasn't like, let's unpack that. It was like, this is what happening. That's not stopping us from being friends or communicating effectively and respecting each other. But I'm gonna definitely call you on your shit, girl. Just as I would expect it with me when you followed me to the church and you sang to me from the okay. And I love how the writers are so good at that. They seamlessly put us in positions where we're like, wait, that's like life, like that happens. You know what I mean? On a totally different level though. Like without making it a thing. It's not like a thing. We don't have to examine it and have like a full-on drop-down drippy scene about it, but we're gonna mention it, we're gonna acknowledge it, and then maybe later on in that very same not segment but show, then we'll hit on it a little bit more to like bring it home. You know? I just feel like they're architects. They are so good at that.
Absolutely. It's totally relatable. I feel like we see each other and we see ourselves in many of these characters. John, to talk about Kittie's point, did you work closely with the writers when you have these big scenes and these moments?
Well, I mean, yes, I think that the relationships vary and there are different writers for every episode and everybody's in the pool. But there were definitely close relationships as we worked on things. But what I will say is this as well, they're brilliant. The writers are brilliant.
They are, right?
Austin is incredible. Austin is fucking incredible. And there is a care. There's a care that I find for every character. There's a care that I find for everyone and what they want and how they want to achieve it. And I also think it's so beautiful that everybody is going on a journey. Like there's no one that's frivolous. There's no one that's throwaway. Everyone's going on a journey. Everyone's traveling somewhere. And in that, I think there's a lot of opportunity. I had a professor of mine tell me one time, she was like, when you write a piece, you want to have a lot of doors and windows. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Stop with the metaphors. I didn't say that, but that's how I was feeling because I'm not disrespectful. But
I'm not a monster.
I was like, what the fuck? No, she didn't do it. But what she said, but the thing what she was saying was, when you write a piece, there have to be different access points for different people. And in this, there's a lot of different access points, you know? And as the characters grow, the access points get more broad because they start changing and they're evolving and they make mistakes and then they try to do better, you know? So I think that's pretty fucking dope.
Dope.
Amazing. Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely great. Unfortunately, we do have to start wrapping up. We are running a little low on time. So I just want to jump to if anyone has any question that they would really love to ask John right now, Kittie or Amir, Emily, if anything comes to mind, shoot.
Well, I wanted to ask a question.
What was that? Is that a crystal?
I have my crystals with me.
You're ready. You're ready.
I have a crystal over here too.
Is that supposed to ward off any crazy questions?
I'm like, what's your questions?
Ward it off.
Hit me.
Ward
Go.
it
What's
off.
up?
No, because you're so jovial. I knew you would be a sweetie patootie. I just knew it. So because you're a cutie patootie and a sweetie patootie, I'm going to jump in and ask you, has there ever been a real life experience, IRL, where you've been torn between two women? Like, has there ever been a triangle situation for you?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. This is okay. So this is why for me, like, this is why I don't demonize Simon. And this is why in certain ways it's difficult to play him, because it's very close to home in some ways. You know, this idea of being really close with someone, being in love with someone, and connecting with someone else, and feeling this connection that is it love? What is this thing? What is this thing?
Yeah.
And the fact that it exists, do I deny it? If I deny it, does that make me a bad person? I'm just gonna put it here, but I can't deny that it's real. And now I'm in this conundrum. What do I do? You know?
Wow.
And then having to then move in integrity, you know? And sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, like, it's happened more than once in life. And sometimes, you know, I know what it looks like to move in integrity, and I know what it looks like to not move in integrity, right?
Absolutely.
I know both of them very well. And I see in Simon someone who is really trying to do the right thing. And that is what makes me really happy to play him, you know, and to not judge like what he does, because there's healing to be done, right? And I wish that, you know, I wish sometimes for me, I wish that I had a character like Simon to look at and to see go through this process, you know, just to know that it was okay to fuck up a little bit and try to do right and find your way, you know? Yeah.
Again, life, right?
Man. Well,
Yeah.
Emily, you okay?
yeah, it's like, it's deep.
Yeah.
I'm like, whew.
It really is. I think that's going to be a perfect place to end things. John, thank you so much for that answer, for being so honest about yourself, giving us more insight into who you are, but also who the character of Simon is. It was a real pleasure to have you. So just thank you so much again. This was a lot of fun, and I know the audience at home really enjoyed it. If they want to find you when they're not watching Zoey's Extraordinary Playlist. No, unfortunately, Kittie, we do have to wrap things up. It's a bummer, but we'll bring it back next week. I promise we'll bring it back next week.
Okay, so if people want to find me, Instagram,
Yes.
JStewIII, Twitter, Stewart_III, and also if there was a song that was sung in my soul, and in those times when I was like split or affected between people I love, it'd be "Let's Hurt Tonight" by One Republic.
Yes.
Ooh, that's good.
That's a good one.
That's if you want it to work.
That's right. And having a happy ending.
Yes.
All right.
I love it.
Does anybody else want to give their song as we're closing out here?
Yeah.
Kittie Kaboom, where can people find you?
Oh, my name is Kittie Kaboom, KITTIE, KABOOM. On Instagram, Kittie Meow, on Twitter. And my song is Love and Happiness. Make you want to do right, make you want to do wrong, baby. That's my joint right there. You love the person, but y'all going through. Okay? That's that Al Green.
Damn.
All right. And Emily May, I know you got a song for us. What do you got?
Of
Where can people find
course.
you?
I mean, my song is I'm gonna go with one of my favorite Broadway, and she was also a Glee star, Leah Michelle, on her solo single, her first debut album. She had Battlefield. It was her single, and it is so beautiful. It's heart-wrenching, and she has an amazing voice. So I would go check it out. The lyrics just drive the tension between two hearts kind of getting torn apart. So go check it out. And you can find me all over Twitter and Instagram at Emily May Heller.
All right. And Amir Yassai, do you have a song for us, and where can people find you?
Yes, I do. And just very quickly, I'm just going to give one shout out real quick. Rachel Sylvesterny. I also love that everyone gives and doesn't need advice from everyone. No one on this show is a guru, and everyone is growing together. So real quick, I wanted to give her a shout out because it's a really good point. We love the show. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and of course TikTok, Amir Yas _. Go watch my videos. I try so hard to bring you all that content.
He's
really
so
do.
funny, you guys. He's funny.
I really try.
Yes,
I really
Amir.
try. Thank you, Kittie. And I think my song will be Call Your Girlfriend from Robin, because when most people meet me, they need to call their girlfriends and break up with them because they met me. So that's kind of my song, and that's what I would sing to people in the midst.
That's your claim to fame, baby.
Amir, I'm done.
Amir, you just
They make a call.
You need clarity. You just need to end it. You just
Yeah.
It's done. It's a wrap. Thank you, Brandon.
Yes,
That's all I
thank you,
got.
Amir. And if you want to find me, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at BrandonHanna07. And for me, if I have a song, I'm actually going to pick a song that's already been sung on this show, and it's Just Give Me a Reason by Pink. When I think about someone you love and having arguments with them, having issues with them, I always think in this dark, romantic, weird place, because that's just who I am. So that's the song I'm going to go with for me personally. And I just want to thank you, John, for getting us to share our songs anyway as we closed out. That ended up working perfectly.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for coming.
And
I'm going to keep that in mind for next time for sure.
it's like, you motherfucker. You.
I wanted to do the song.
Yeah. Good.
Have the fans please let us know what songs you would sing, because we love hearing. Even post your videos, post your song lyrics. We want to hear you.
Yeah, 100%.
Or do a TikTok video of one of the songs you saw tonight.
Yeah.
Challenge. And don't
Yes.
send that shit back to me, because I'm not doing no damn challenges. Just to let you know.
Cool. Well, that officially wraps everything up for us here today. So once again, thank you so much, John, for being on the show. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you, John.
And thanks to everyone watching at home. We will see you all next week.
Aw. Bye, John.
Aw, thanks, John.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.